What is going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of Hot Takes and Headlocks. I'm AK.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I'm your second host, Joe, aka Spanish 85. What's going on, man? How was your week in wrestling?
Uh, it was good. I feel like Raw this past week was just a little slow, but they had some promos and some hype moments for this weekend's main event. But I like it, man. I think it could be a little better, but I like it.
I felt very similarly. It didn't feel like a go home Raw for what they want us to perceive as a big time PLE. These guys going over to Saudi Arabia and everything. It really just felt like a regular episode of Raw. It wasn't it there wasn't any there wasn't much uh there wasn't much of that X factor that you would expect for a go home Raw. The Honestly, the only thing that I took away from it is we know what the women's Queen of the Ring final looks like. That's really the main thing that I took away from it.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel that way too. Obviously, we see that Roxanne Perez is obviously now the new Liv Morgan. And same storyline, just different person. Like we've always talked about. I'm whatever. Let's just get it on, get it going. It is what it is. Then you had you know uh, Jade Cargill defeat Roxanne Perez, Monday night. And I believe that was definitely the right move because that's what we talked about. That's where the feud for Naomi and her come in down the line.
Yeah,
We both agree on that.
yeah.
Um, you talked about the women's intercontinental championship match. Becky Lynch against Bailey, and you know I'm mixed about Lyra, dude. Um, I like her at times, and then I don't like her at other times. And I really thought Monday night was definitely a stupid move, and I understand, but it was I don't know. You know what I mean?
You mentioned Roxanne Perez, and in hindsight, hearing you talk about what went down with the women's division, more it's more evident that they're putting the rocket on her. Sure, she didn't win her match against Jade, but that was one of the better matches on Raw.
Yep.
And although she didn't win that, you had her come out later on in the night to help out Raquel Rodriguez, and and now you see somewhat of a breadcrumb leading up to them tagging. Maybe she might give her Liv Morgan's title to hold on to, or to kind of be like that intermittent tag team champion, keep it warm for Liv Morgan, and maybe work her way to actually earning it down the road. You kind of see those breadcrumbs forming, and you can imagine what that might look like if that develops, and what things will look like between Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan when she comes back. So in hindsight, that's actually something else that I'm taking away, that seems like, okay, this could lead somewhere pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to see how that develops.
Yeah, I kind of expect the same thing that we had between Liv and Rhea, where they duke it out over Dom for a little bit, and then eventually he's just gonna pick Roxanne. I really just see him copying and pasting the same storyline, which sounds really dumb, but that's the way it's going so far. So how am I not supposed to expect that? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, based on what we've seen thus far, it does look like, and I think you used a really good way of explaining it: copy and paste. Right? It looks like
Yeah.
it looks like the same playbook what they did before. Do you really think that the WWE is ballsy enough to just execute that same playbook a second time, but with a different team? Dominic Mysterio, all that stuff.
You know, I just can't believe that they think we're that stupid to not see it. Let me put it to you this way. Do you really think they did it knowing that we wouldn't know? Like, do you think they thought, oh, we can sneak this one in there? Like, dude, come on, you had to know we would know. This is not a mistake. It's not. No, you intentionally did this. It's almost like you are so confused on what to do with Judgment Day. Like you don't know where to take them. You don't know what to do with them. But they're an entertainment factor and they're a very big one, so you can't really disband them either. So they're just like, well, I guess we'll just reloop it and do the same shit again and make it entertaining that way because they ran out of shit to do with them.
Well, full context, this injury came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever plans for an injury, right? So Liv Morgan being out injured and someone swooping in to take her spot, they don't plan for that stuff to happen, but obviously they're just rolling with it. They were kind of already going that route before Liv Morgan got injured,
Mm-hmm.
introducing Roxanne Perez and all that
Yep.
stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
This just solidified it.
this feels like it's solidifying it, unless the idea to make it different is Roxanne trying to win over Raquel Rodriguez now because Liv Morgan is gone, versus I'm sorry, Roxanne Perez trying to win over Raquel Rodriguez because Liv Morgan is gone, versus trying to win over Dominic Mysterio.
Well, I think she's going to do that just purely because Raquel needs a tag team partner and they're not going to want to relinquish those titles. So she's going to do it out of spite whether she wants to or not because she is a champion and she don't want to give them up just because Liv got injured, and I understand that. But in all honesty, I would have given you more balls if you would have sat there and just let that spot vacant until Liv came back. Do it literally different than what you did before. You know what I mean? Actually have the assertive to just leave a woman out for 4 months.
I mean, you got to have it make sense, right? And
Yeah.
not only that, these women's titles, they've been vacated before,
Yes.
uh, and it's not that long ago that happened. So I don't think it's an option for them to want to vacate it and have to start a whole new tournament all over again. I don't think they want to do that again. Um, but they have to have it make sense where Raquel is still holding on to these titles without defending them, without a tag team partner, and find a way to uh, give it to Roxanne temporarily, or to have her the second official half of the women's tag team champions.
Well, and see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm okay with 100% of that. If you want to use her as a sub for now to fill in for Liv because you want to have her as the tag team champion,
I think your audio just went out. AK, I can't hear you, bud.
you there, bud?
Now I hear you.
Yeah, no, sorry. This heat has really messed up our stuff here in PA, man. My electric has been flashing for the last couple of days, from all the sun rays and stuff
Nah,
and
man, you're
all.
good.
It's crazy, dude. So I've been having some issues. But no, but what I was saying though is I just wish they would have the balls to say, but you're not part of Judgment Day. You can be her tag team champion. You can hold that side of it, but we're not going to rerun the same storyline just because of an injury. We're going to do something different. We're going to hold it off and we're going to leave it vacant and don't even do a relationship with Dom. In fact, if you want to do something, make her in a relationship with um Finn, because Finn seems to like her so much. Do something different. You don't need to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Or just find another way to make her a solid new member of Judgment Day if you don't consider her to be, because it doesn't have to be via a relationship. Like
Right?
everybody doesn't have to be hooking up with somebody else in the group. It wasn't like that in the very beginning, and we moved into it since then. But that doesn't have to be that doesn't have to keep continuing. Is my point.
Yeah,
They could find a different way to go about it.
yeah. I think it's the right thing to do. Just because you just got done with the storyline, what, 2 months ago? You know what I'm saying? We're
Hmm.
really gonna run it back 2 months later again. I could understand if this was a year from now. You know what I mean, or something like that. But this quick, this early,
And another thing, we got they announced this match of Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, right?
mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a street fight match, and we're gonna give our predictions about that later on in the show. But can you can, can you remind me, how did we get back to where Rhea is now feuding with the Judgment Day again? How did we how did we get to this point again? Because I thought Rhea was done with the Judgment Day, and now here she is feuding with Raquel Rodriguez. Rhea was trying to get into
um,
the Queen of the Ring tournament, right? And now she's feuding with the Judgment Day.
well, didn't she? That's it. Didn't Raquel interrupt in that fatal four way, which cost her, and that's why she's mad at her. I believe that's how that started.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and you're right. I don't like this either, man. I just like I don't know. I'm with you. I really just feel that they just don't know what to do with these guys anymore in a creative way. And listen, man, it's got to be really hard being a faction and making everyone happy. And plus, I think the bloodline really killed a lot of that for them. I don't think they want to go back that bloodline route where you have the champion, the tag team champion, and all this in one faction, where one faction rules it all. Which is why I was really surprised they let Seth get a faction together. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So I don't even know if they know what the fuck they're doing. Truly,
Look,
I don't.
I'm telling you right now, quote me on it. Seth's faction, they're gonna have all the titles at one point. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
Once
yeah,
when you have a big time faction that is bringing up upper mid carders to a main event level,
mm-hmm.
and they're being led by someone like Seth Rollins with all the experience in the world, they're gonna put every single title on that faction, whether it
Yeah.
be Rollins as the world champ and Bronson and Braun Breaker as as tag champs, or each of them as individual champions. My personal
Can I give you a theory real quick? I believe Seth is going to go after John Cena's title. Now, I'm not
ooh
saying it's going. I'm not going to say it's going to be him that beats Cena. I'm not sure about that one yet. But somehow, some way, he's going to cash in on that one because, like we said, he's already held the world heavyweight title, and he's already brought that back to a respectable level. He knows what that is because of him. I think he wants to bring the other one up now. So my theory is he wins the WWE undisputed title, and I believe Braun Breaker will become the heavyweight champion. And then I don't know. You could probably put Bronson Reed as Intercontinental.
so that's not a
That'd be
bad
insane.
theory. My only thing is that, so when you have two world titles, right? You got the
Yeah.
undisputed, and then you have the world heavyweight championship. Ideally, they want both of those to be on an equal playing field, right? They don't want one to mean more than the other. Ideally, they got to be looked at as equally valuable for each show. When you have someone, when you have a Seth Rollins as a world champion, no matter which championship he ends up going for, because he's the veteran, because he has the most experience, it would appear to me that Seth Rollins, the leader, as the world champion, and Braun Breaker as the undisputed, or vice versa, one of them is going to seem, one of them, for me, would appear to mean a little bit less than the other, as
Hmm.
opposed to being an equal playing field, just because Rollins is that leader of that faction.
True.
Uh, what would make sense to me, and what I think would what I think would be really cool, is if Rollins was was the world champion, whether it be world champion or undisputed, it doesn't matter. And instead of having Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed as tag champs, have them both be their own individual champion rather than putting them into the tag team division. That I think would be more interesting, just because from a faction perspective, it's all as far as I can remember, the leader is the world champion, and then the guys behind him are tag champs.
Yeah.
I would like to see the guys behind him as their own individual champions.
Well, what titles would they be then? Because if you take out the world title because you don't want Braun Breaker to have that, then what Braun is Intercontinental, but then what would Bronson be? The 24/7 or what? What would that be?
Well, see, that's the problem with my theory, because you can't have both mid card titles on one show. Uh,
Exactly.
you would have one be on one show, the other one be on another show. So that's the big hole in in what I would like to see, that I can't really fill just yet. I'm sort of just, this is all just evolving for me as I'm
For
saying it
sure.
out loud.
Yeah.
But I think, but to your point, that's why they always go for the guys behind the champion being the tag titles, because that's something that can be on, that's something that each show has their own version of.
Now this is just a theory I'm going to throw out here, but I would actually like to see a title created in between the heavyweight and the intercontinental, kind of how
Oh,
the middleweight used to be. But you don't
okay.
have to call it the middleweight. You can light heavyweight.
Or the television championship, I think, is one thing that WCW had back in the day.
Yeah, like like you mean like the dual belt, the one that was on both brands each week.
Yeah, like one that represented like the network that they were on. Could Oh my god, could you imagine if WWE created the Netflix championship?
Dude, that'd be funny.
Oh my gosh, man. Could
No,
you?
but could we bring back the hardcore championship, please? Oh, I
Oh
would
man.
love that, man.
Oh,
I miss it so much. I believe you should bring, dude. They're having more hardcore matches lately. There's a lot of tables being used, a lot of chairs, a lot of ladders. Bring back the hardcore title, man. There's no reason you can't have it.
ah, that would
I would
be
love
nice.
that.
I don't think it fits within their family friendly programming that they want to stay in that bubble for.
But they're on
I think that's the only
Netflix.
reason.
You can be whatever you want on Netflix.
You can. You can. I remember a year ago when we were wondering, oh, they're going to be on Netflix. What does that mean? Does that mean there's going to be cursing, and it's going to be more violent? And what do we got, man?
They
Like,
kind of are though. Now listen, I don't understand why you're on Netflix and you blank out curses. I like if they say fuck, let them say
yes,
fuck.
make
You're
that
on
make sense to
Netflix.
me.
You're
Make it
you're
make
on
sense.
Netflix. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
on Netflix. You have no. Netflix is not coming after you, bro. They have way worse movies than that. Just if
They
they say
do.
fuck, let them say fuck. Who gives a shit? Stop blanking it out. If parents don't want their kids watching it, they won't watch it. But I hardly doubt that's going to happen
Yeah,
because it's
man.
not like they're throwing 50 f bombs a night. You know what I mean?
No, no, exactly, bro. Like they got. They got John Cena saying bullshit or bullshitter on USA on SmackDown last week, and then on the other channel, whether it's TBS or TNT, you got those guys on AEW saying fuck on their show.
Yeah. Yep. Makes no sense, man. I don't get it. I have no idea.
I understand if you say it too much, then it loses its steam and it's not as meaningful. I can get that. I'm on board with that with that psychology. But again, to your point, we're on Netflix, okay? It's so like you can use it, you can say it. You don't have to use it all the time, but you're on a network where you don't have those shackles where you're limited to a certain number of times. You can say it as much as you want, but they're not saying it at all. Zero. We I think we lost your audio again, man. Can you hear me? Oh, all right. So AK just left us. I think he's gonna sign out, sign back in with his. I think he mentioned he was having some internet issues, and the man is back. All right,
I'm sorry. I switched to my phone, dude. I couldn't fake that anymore.
all good, man. All good.
But anyway, what were you saying? Sorry, I
No,
apologize.
I was basically just expanding on your point that they don't have they're not shackled with Netflix as far as what they're saying, right? They can say as much as they want. I understand that they don't want to overexpose us with the swearing. They want to
Yeah.
keep it as minimal as possible and have it still mean something when they do say it. I get that 100%. They're just not using it at all
Yeah.
on the Raw side.
Right. Like in all honesty, let me use this as an example. Okay. Remember Goldberg's promo?
Yeah.
His whole promo, everything was fine. Right at the end, he goes, "And I'm gonna fuck him up." You blanked it out. That took every momentum you had right there and threw it out the window the moment you bleeped it.
Yep.
It didn't sound so bad now. It's like we know what he said and we understand how he meant it and blah blah blah. But hearing it from him, his vocal, you know what I'm saying? Like you killed all the momentum the moment you did that. Like you had me hooked and then you blanked it out and it was like, oh well, okay.
So let's talk about this Goldberg and Gunther match since you brought up Goldberg, because go home episode of Raw, we do not get a live appearance from Goldberg. We get an interview from Goldberg, and we get a live promo from Gunther.
Hmm.
And dude, if you're gonna be advertising Goldberg, then I think he should be on the shows live, especially
Yep.
if this is gonna be his final match. He's retiring after this. Like you gotta have this guy appear live on the show leading up to this thing, because dude, I'm sorry. Actually, let me correct myself. This was not the go home episode for Saturday Night's Main Event. I apologize. That was my oversight. So not the go home, but still, we're not that far from Saturday Night's Main Event. We should be getting live appearances from Goldberg. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Here's the thing. That promo he gave, that would have been much better if you would have had him straight in Gunther's face. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I understand that was a sit down interview, but that shit would have been way better if he said that shit to Gunther, to his face. You know, and listen, if I am Oldberg right now, I'm telling you this, bro, I ain't even showing up to Atlanta because he's going to fuck you up. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? Like that promo Gunther gave, I'm not a huge Gunther guy at all, but damn, that was good, bro. He made me
it
believe
was.
it. He
It
really
was.
fucking did. Like,
It was. My hopes is that Goldberg learns from his previous mistake and he doesn't get too intense within himself mentally that he knocks himself out on the way to the ring
Yeah.
and ends up having a sloppy match. I hope he learns from that mistake. I hope he doesn't do it. I was rewatching Undertaker versus Goldberg. I think that was Super Showdown when they had that match in Saudi, and how he knocked himself out and he was already busted open on his forehead, and it just led to a sloppy
Yeah.
match and Undertaker almost getting injured with that match when he tried to jackhammer him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just hope it's a safe match for both guys, and that as far as a retirement match goes, I'm hoping that we see a proper send off for Goldberg.
Yeah. Without him winning. Um,
He's not winning. He's not winning. He is not winning.
anything is possible now, dog. Um, no, I don't think he is either. But I listen. I have been surprised before, and you know what I mean. And I'll never say never. But no, I like it. Like I said, I really enjoyed Gunther's promo. Um, who else are we missing here? Shit. Uh,
Well, they replaced the Dominic Mysterio match against AJ Styles, and they replaced it with Sami Zayn versus
yeah.
Karrion Cross.
Okay. First and foremost, I hope Sami Zayn Hulua kicks the shit out this guy. All right, because I'm telling you, bro, what does Karrion Cross do? He doesn't do shit. Like I'm sorry. He is very annoying. You know, you got rid of our truth. You should have got rid of Karrion Cross. He is way less important than anyone on these rosters. He doesn't do a damn thing, dude. All he does is talk and make a promo every once in a while. What the frickin' do? So yeah, man, this should be easy for Sammy, and I'm happy for him because I hope he shuts him the hell up.
So he's definitely been playing this little devil on your shoulder, whispering into your ear. Like he's been playing that kind of character with Sammy. He's been doing it with AJ Styles. He tried to do it with the New Day. I guess in the long run, him doing it with the New Day ended up being successful because they ended up turning heel. He's basically just trying to tap into everyone's inner heel to try to bring it out and kind of just prove to them and himself that they're not the hero. They're deep down they're as bad as he is, and he's trying to bring it out of Sammy, but Sammy is trying to be incorruptible. He's trying to tell him to shut up. That's not who I am. And now we've gotten to a point where Sammy doesn't want to hear it anymore, and he wants to shut him up, right? Which
Yep.
in and after he punched him in the face, he's smiling and he's saying, "Got him!" Like he tapped into something, and now Sammy gave him a sucker punch, right? Not something that a babyface would actually do, um, but he sucker punched him out of nowhere. So
Yeah, but see,
in,
I don't
in
know how you can
Cross's
say
eyes,
that
he's
you
he's on
got
his way
him
to something. What's that?
because I don't see how you listen. I understand he's like I got him. You got him the sucker puncher.
Yeah,
Congrats, but that was after the 40th attempt.
that's true.
Anyone
Yeah.
will hit you after the 40th attempt. You know what I mean? Like eventually enough's enough. Like I don't I just think that was Sammy like, all right, dude, like I obviously just gotta show you you can't talk to me this way. You know what I mean? I don't think if he really thinks he has him, in my point of view, it's like, no, dog, you don't have him at all. You don't even know, you know?
This could end in one of two ways. And it could be either Karrion winning and Sammy having to search within himself, is my way the correct way? Or because I just lost, so maybe I should consider doing things a little bit different. Hence the breadcrumbs for Sami Zayn turning heel. Or Sammy wins against Karrion Kross, and then at that point, okay, what's next? It's obvious because if Sammy wins, that would mean everything up until this point has not worked against Sammy. So now, who does Karrion Kross move on to next?
Sami Zayn goes heel and joins Seth. Woo woo.
Ooh,
That's a joke. But
what's
no,
going on? We got Positive Philly Productions chiming in. AK, good to see you, bro. It's been like years.
yes, sir. How's it going, Positive Philly? How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, so what else? What was there was
AK, I
one
didn't
more
know you
thing.
watched WWE, is what Positive Philly is saying.
Yeah, dude. I watched WWE. I grew up on it. I just took a break for a while because it got really crappy. I mean, not that it's all that wow better, but it is way better than what it used to be.
Anyways, you were saying.
Um, there's one more match we didn't talk about, right? For Monday.
There's still more. Surprisingly, this is one of the first PLEs in a while where they're going at 6 matches scheduled instead of their standard 5. They've been doing 5 PLE matches, and now they're doing 6 this time.
Yeah. Well, for the pay per view, you obviously have Randy Orton and you got Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes beat Jey Uso this past Monday. Um, I kind of figured that was going to happen. Because you're going to have to sit there and have the legacies go at it. That's your breadwinner right there. I hope Randy. Um,
I'm glad that they're bringing these two together for a one-on-one match.
yeah,
This is a very different Cody than the last time that they went one-on-one with each other. I just feel like that they they missed the boat on this one, man. Like they could have done a match between these two when Cody was the champion, and now they're doing it for King of the Ring. I feel like that they missed the boat on this one. Jeffrey, what's going on, man?
yeah.
Thanks
What's
for
good,
stopping
Jeffy?
by.
How you doing, Jeff? How you doing, bud? Yeah, it's good to see you too, positive, man. And everything's going good with the family, bro. Appreciate you, sir. And my co-host is Spanish Joe. He's my buddy. And he is my wrestling friend, and we talk wrestling every Thursday night. So yeah,
Yeah, man. If you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, please join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. For our hot takes and headlocks. This is the show. We talk all things pro wrestling, current. Last week we talked about what got us into pro wrestling, our first memories of pro wrestling, how we both got exposed to it. So we talk it all, man. Current, past, and everything in between.
yeah, yeah. And listen, why don't you hit him with the thing under your name there, man? While we're mid show.
Yes, yes. So you'll see under my Twitter handle, we got the email for the show. It's hottakesandheadlocks@gmail.com. So basically with that, we want to take your guys' feedback. What do you guys like? What do you guys think we can do better? Hit us with some questions, man. There's so much going on in the world of professional wrestling that we can't cover it all within the show. But if there's something specific that you want us to touch on that we haven't talked about, send us an email. Send us an email and we'll read it live on the air, and we'll give you our responses and reactions to your question, feedback, statements, whatever it is, man.
Yep.
We're trying to get this as a as a high viewer engagement as possible. You guys are the third person in this conversation that we're doing right here, and yeah, this is the show between all of us. So
Yeah,
hot takes and
definitely. Yeah, and
headlocks at gmail.com.
past, present,
even you can ask future. No, I don't know what the future holds, but I can give you my best, on it.
Yeah. And we got Jeffrey chiming in a couple of times here. I can see Cody winning, but I wouldn't mind Randy winning. And then The Undertaker got me into wrestling. Bro,
Yeah,
man, Undertaker has been there through so many years, so many different eras. Like I I'm not surprised that Undertaker got you in there just because he's been through it all, man. He's seen it all. He's been through every era, and what a character Undertaker is, dude. When I was a
that was
kid,
mine, dude. Remember, it was the Hell in the Cell between him and Mankind. I mean, that was mine, dude. Like that's what really got me into it. That was in '99. Now I did watch in like '96, '97, but I was still like 5 and 6, dude. I was a little too young to understand it, but by the time '99 rolled around and I saw that match, I knew exactly what it was.
dude, they had me at 10 years old convinced that this is a guy who's basically a zombie who wrestles for a living. Like
Right?
in hindsight, I'm thinking back to myself like, how did I fall for that? Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, they made it so convincing. It everything about him, his aura, his entrance, his move set, it just fit and it worked cohesively for him, dude. It worked so well.
I am so happy, dude, that they got rid of those stupid purple gloves of his back in the day. Remember whenever he was first came out in like 91, 92? Like that was cool and all, but man, it didn't take off till probably 96, 97 when he went all black. That was nasty. That was real nasty.
So when I first saw him, he was actually a little bit scarier for me at the time because when I started watching pro wrestling, that was when he had his orbital bone broken and he had to wear that mask on his face. So
Ah,
him
yeah,
having
yeah,
to wear
yeah.
that for me as a 10-year-old, I was like, oh man, I would not want to mess with this guy. This guy looks super scary with that mask on. Little did I know he would have a half brother that would come by in a couple of years and it would be scarier times 100 because Kane gave me like Michael Myers vibes when he first debuted. Kane was super scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I remember the first time, like, what was it? HBK. He was wrestling in the Hell in the Cell when he ripped the door off, or who was that?
Undertaker versus HBK in the first ever Hell in a Cell, and Kane came in and ripped. He ripped the door
Ripped,
off of the
ripped.
cage. He ripped
Truly, I
it.
can't even. I can't even tell you. He ripped it. It wasn't the most amazing thing I ever saw, bro. Like, and that's why I always argue. And that Kane, that day, and that Kane that we've seen for 8 years at the beginning is the same fat Kane that we have unmasked that's standing in the middle of our ring. I'm sorry. I can't believe that, bro. I really can't. He was jacked, dog.
Super jacked.
Super big. Oh my god. I remember, dude, he put chills. I remember whenever I went to my one of my first lives, he was there and they hit his pyro. You felt it all over the stadium, man. Like it was insane. I loved it. It was awesome.
Have you ever been to a live event with Kane Pyro going on?
Yes. Hmm. Yeah.
Dude,
And then the ones in the ring were just as powerful, bro. The ones that came
yeah,
right out of the post. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I remember sitting not lower level, but upper level. And when that pyro went off, bro, I can feel it from all the way over there.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah. It
crap,
was
I felt it from all
intense.
the way over there. So
Yep.
intense.
No, I loved it, man. And that's what I'm saying, man. That's the era I want wrestling to get back to. Is kind of that attitude-ish era, man. That was their era. I understand that the superstars that were in that era are very hard to replace. But man, you got some really young talent on both of these rosters who could do some amazing things if you just let them be more attitudey. You know what I mean, man? DX comes from that generation. The Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys. You know what I'm saying, man? That
Right,
Stone
right.
Cold, The Rock, and Mankind, dude. We can go on forever. That was It's legendary, man.
All right. So we went on a tangent, but I want to
Yeah,
continue
sorry,
this
my
tangent.
bad.
I want to continue this tangent because talking about this, I got a question for you
Yeah,
that falls in line with what we're currently talking about. So when you first got into this, right? Eventually, you probably identified with one particular wrestler that maybe you looked up to as like a hero, role model, whatever.
yeah.
So thinking back to your first times watching pro wrestling, who would you say was that hero role model that you looked up to saying that's my guy? That's the guy that I would follow into battle. Who would you say
Jeff
that wrestler
Hardy.
was for you? Jeff Hardy? Yeah?
Yeah,
Which
I
version
love
of Jeff
Jeff
Hardy?
Hardy, man. Jeff Hardy was. Listen, I love Matt too. Version 1 was his best character, but there was just something about Jeff, dude. The he was way more talented when it came to acrobats. He was way more talented than Matt. And oh god, man, he, some of the first things I've ever seen anyone do insane shit before was Jeff. You know what I mean? And that mesmerizes you right there. That is things that last forever. There's a lot of great wrestlers, man, but there wasn't people out there putting their bodies on the line twice a week like that, man. You know what I mean? Some of the shit we've seen that dude do, you know why he drinks, you know why he has drug problems, because his body is fucking broken. You know what I mean? Like he put it all out, bro. He really did.
Man, Jeff Hardy is immortalized as far like when we talk about moments, dude.
Yeah.
Moments. This guy was speared hanging from the top of the ring. He was
Yep.
speared by some guy jumping off of a ladder. He's
Edge
hanging
hit
from
him.
up here, speared, and he falls down
Yep.
to the floor. Okay.
Edge speared him off the ladder, a 20-foot fucking ladder, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
it was insane, dude. I'm telling you, man. It's when you think about wrestlers, bro. Jeff Hardy has to be one at the top. Yeah, not at the top, but I'm saying one of the ones at the top, just because of the stuff he did, the stuff he put his body through. He revolutionized wrestling in a way. Him as the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, all of them, dude. They brought a whole new meaning to wrestling when they
mhm,
entered. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Even
yeah,
Spike Dudley, I have to throw that little dude in there, man. In his own way, he was a little badass little dude.
yeah.
So it is what it is.
Man, all right. And you're not alone, man. Jeffrey says Jeff was the guy before Darby Allin. Bro, yes, 100%. Jeff Hardy was the guy before Darby Allin. I 100% agree with that statement. In that era, Jeff was doing the most insane things that we never thought we would see on live TV. I remember seeing him climb to the top of a 20-foot ladder. Bubba Ray Dudley is right here laying on a table and swanton bomb right on top of him. Crazy, man. Crazy things that I saw this guy do. So that's the guy you would follow into battle. So my hero when I first started watching pro wrestling, the guy that I idolized, the guy that I thought was so cool, he was the personification of cool. For me, 1996, that was Bret the Hitman Hart. I wanted to be those kids standing in the entranceway, him coming out, high-fiving everybody, and he spots you. He takes off his glasses and he puts them on your head. Man, when I tell you, I was so jealous. I wanted to be those kids that he gave those glasses to. That was one of the most awesome things that he did.
I'll get it right one of these days, I promise.
No, man, it's cool. So what I was saying was the guy when I first started watching pro wrestling for me was Bret the Hitman Hart. Uh,
Yeah,
he made wearing pink look cool. The wet hair, the glasses, walking around with that title. And
yeah.
if you were one of those lucky kids that got a seat along the aisle entranceway, and he picked you, you were the one that got those Bret Hart sunglasses. He took them
Hmm.
off and he put them on your head, bro. Oh my god, that was beyond cool. That that made me want to be those kids. I would want to talk to my mom and dad and be like, we need to go and we need to sit right over here, not in front of the ring, but over here. Why? So I can get a pair of sunglasses. Why don't we just buy them? Because I want him to give it to me.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was. I remember watching that, man. That was really cool. And dude, some of those guys are really cool about giving their stuff away. You know, that's when you give stuff away like that, man. That's a memory you give a kid you can't take away. You know, they'll
Now,
remember it forever.
now it's even better. Now they're making kids part of their entrance. You'll have Cody Rhodes pick up a kid in the aisle, and then they'll wait for that cue in the song for them to go, whoa, and they put their hands in the air and the pyro's going off. Or Jey Uso coming down the stairs in the arena,
Yep.
and they'll pick a random kid and they'll have them do the yeet dance, right? Like,
Yep.
you're never gonna forget that.
Nope.
You're never gonna forget that.
No, I mean, that's one of the reasons why Bailey is who she is. You know, I mean, she's told her story plenty of times, you know. So listen, man, you could be making a future generation wrestler right there just by doing that moment. You know, who knows? So no, I'm all for it, man. You know, some of them forget that, I believe, now and then.
So how would teenage AK love being picked up by Jeff Hardy and get brought over the guardrail and do the Jeff Hardy dance as part of the entrance? How would teenage AK like that?
As long as I can swanton bomb someone through a table, I'm totally for it, bro. I will totally do that, man. I would, if he's like, yo, get up there, do it. I would, oh, hell yeah, dude. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Can you do that?
There's a lot of shit I could have done when I was younger, not anymore because I'm almost 40. But yeah, I at one time I could have.
Would you rather swanton somebody that's just laying down on the ring, or would you rather swanton somebody through a table?
Oh shit, I'd go over the ropes too, bro.
Oh, no
See,
way.
listen, man. Whenever I've never been over 200 pounds. Usually, I usually fluctuated from a teen 175, 180. Now I'm roughly around 165. Yeah, I have the body to be able to do it. I'm not a very big. I'm only 6 foot. You know, I have the normal average build. You know, I mean, you see what Penta does. He's not a very big guy. You know, I guess you could say I'm Dom size, just look a lot better than him. But no, no, I could have done it. Oh hell yeah.
I would say
I
for
wouldn't have
me,
thought twice.
if I could do a move on somebody, it would be a choke slam. A choke slam would be my finisher. They're like how much more of a dominating move can you think of where you have somebody that you're grabbing by the throat, choking them, you lift them up, and then you slam them down to go for the pin, right? Uh, I, as a teenager, there was no more of a dominating move than the choke slam.
I'll
Specifically,
tell you the one that I would have tried just because of who I am and the daredevil that I am, and I think I'm going to say it right, dude. My finisher would have been the shooting star press.
ho ho,
Off the top rope, dog. I'm not even playing. Grab your ankles, flip backwards, and smack. Oh yeah, that or the frog splash, bro. I'm telling you, I love the
frog
frog splash.
splash.
That was dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to pull off that shooting star press, bro. And that very few people can do it.
Oh man, there was a time where I remember Jeff and I were in college, and our college somehow contracted somebody with a bounce house to come to the campus. And in between classes, we took off our shoes, we climbed into the bounce house, and we started doing wrestling moves on each other. I choke slammed him real good. He wanted to do the Stone Cold Stunner on me, or maybe it was a Twist of Fate, or both of them. Those were his moves: Twist of Fate and Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
Man, we had so much fun doing wrestling moves on each other in bounce houses. That was something that I'll never forget. And Jeffrey, mine would have been the spear or a lifting power bomb. Jeff, can you do a Braun Breaker spear right now? Is that something you could do if you were put in a position to do it? Because Braun Breaker spear, man, that is the spear. That is a high bar level spear right now. There is no other. I think he's topped even Goldberg's spear, if you ask me. What do you think?
Goldberg wishes he had his spear. No, listen, man. I will say this. No, I'm not that fast anymore. Yeah, see, me either, man. Age catches up with you. I could have back in the day, though, for sure. Um, no, I gotta send you the video, man. I think I saw it on YouTube. There was a YouTube short. These guys, they just make up wrestling moves like finishers, and I'm pretty sure they're like professionals for it. And this dude invented a lift up power bomb RKO. Yeah, where when he lifts him up to power bomb him, he flips his feet backwards, and when he does, he turns and RKO's him right into the fucking mat. It is one of the most amazing moves I've ever seen, and he's not a small dude. He's actually not a guy you would even assume could do something like that. And it was one of the most amazing moves. I was like, bro, Randy Orton needs to adapt to that RKO. That would be phenomenal, bro. Like this dude just hoists this guy up and then flips his feet, and when he does, he just jumps in the air and just bloop, RKOs him. One of the craziest moves I've ever seen.
Wow, because
Yeah.
there's so much required to be able to accomplish something like that. You got to have the strength.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the athleticism. You got to have the timing to be able to kick the guy's legs up, to be able to catch him and do the RKO.
Yeah, and he didn't miss. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Wow.
You could tell he practiced many times before they recorded it.
Damn.
It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible.
I would love
Well,
to see that.
listen, well, I mean, what? Fucking Seth Rollins was 10 feet in the air when he got RKO'd right off Randy's knee. You know what I mean? Like, or right off the back of his neck, Randy threw him in the air and RKO'd him out. And like, dude, I get it. He's done some amazing things. I will find it and I'm gonna send it to you, bro. You got to see this thing. Maybe we'll show it next week. It is so cool, man.
I wonder if he's still doing it to this day, because I guarantee that's not something he can do to every single opponent. Like, imagine trying to do that on a super heavyweight. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Oh yeah, no, he's not doing that to Braun Breaker. I hardly doubt it. No, but he could do it to. He could do it to smaller. He could do it to Penta. He could do it with Seth. Seth isn't that big that he couldn't do it to Seth. I don't believe.
Yeah.
But he couldn't Braun Strowman that shit. He couldn't. He couldn't do any of that. But it's a nice move, man. Definitely.
So as we pivot back to Night of Champions, right? So we talked about Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross.
Yep.
We have Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship.
Would it be really disrespectful to say I don't give a shit? Because I really don't give a shit. I don't like either of them. I don't care. I've never been a Fatu or anything, so I don't care who wins this one. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I just don't.
The problem I have with this match, similar to you, I don't care. I think Jacob Fatu will retain. I'm going with Jeffrey on this one. Jeffrey thinks that he's going to retain with shenanigans. The problem here is Solo was a red hot heel with Roman Reigns, their program, the whole Ulafala thing going on and everything. And then after the debut of Raw on Netflix, and Solo lost the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, and that ended their story. It's like Solo is trying to reestablish himself, and he hasn't done that yet. It's been it's been well over 5 months since then. He hasn't fully established himself yet. For me, Jacob Fatu beating Solo doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't mean anything.
Right. Same
Uh,
here, man.
it doesn't level him up really because on what level is Solo currently on? I think they're both on an equal level. I feel like in order for a Jacob Fatu victory over Solo to mean something, you got to have Solo up here, something that Jacob Fatu is trying to climb and rise above over, so he can level up over Solo. And Solo
Yeah.
is just not on that level right now. He's not.
Yeah. I just I don't know, man. Like that's probably the one match that I just don't care. I'll probably take a bathroom break and maybe get something to eat during that match. Not even playing, man. I don't care.
Then we have Jade Cargill versus Asuka,
Yeah.
and that's the Queen of the Ring final. So it's going to come down to either we're going to see Jade Cargill get crowned Queen of the Ring, we're going to see a Queen Jade, or we're going to see Asuka get crowned as Queen Asuka. So who do you think is going to get this potential gimmick change? Somebody's going to get Queen at the beginning of their name for the next year or so.
Well, to be honest, I hope we're right and it's Jade because then everything we've said is correct. But I wouldn't be mad if it's Oscar either. You know, I like Oscar. I think they're doing the right thing because she just came back from her injury and stuff. I believe that in a way they feel they owe her a little bit. So, you know, you see her going really far in this. Now, whether or not they push her over the top is yet to be seen. But either one, I'm pretty good with. You know, because now I don't know where the storyline for Oscar would go if she wins, but you know what I mean? I definitely know where the Jade one goes if she wins. So
Who is more over as the women's world champion right now? Do you
Oscar.
think no, no, no. As a women's world champion, do you think Io Sky is more over, or do you think that who's the other women's champion right now on SmackDown?
Oh yeah, it's a Barbie doll girl. What's her face?
Tiffany Stratton. Yeah,
Tiffany. God, that's so tough, man.
I think Io is more over. I think Tiffany was hot leading up to WrestleMania with her rivalry with Charlotte, and since then things are kind of like being stagnant. You know, she's not rising up anymore. She's kind of peaked already, and she's not rising up anymore. I think Io is more over currently, and I think with that that'll probably factor into Asuka winning and having these two friends that were in a faction with one another go one on one at SummerSlam. So I would say my pick is going to be Asuka overall.
Yeah, I like that. Here's my thing, man, and first and foremost, I will tell you what Tiffy gets on my nerves. She really does. I'm not about that life at all. So you know, and I don't really watch SmackDown that much. So I is what it is for me on that. But as far as EO, I just I don't understand what it is about her. Now I understand she definitely has the over between both of them, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like she's great either. Like I'm sorry, I don't see what some people see in her because I don't see it.
Right.
If you can explain to me, go ahead. But I there's so many more people who are well deserving than her, well more talented than her, and I just don't understand it. I really don't. She does not give me championship material vibes. I'm sorry, she just doesn't.
I personally have not been so sold on this babyface run that she's had. I feel like it for me it still feels like yesterday that she was a heel in Damage Control, and bad talking Bailey and everything. So
I'm not sure
what's
how to take that. What do you mean?
what's Jeffrey saying? You don't see
Oh,
this, AK?
that's what she does. Yeah, no, I know. I just it
That's the D'Lo Brown head bop. That's
yeah.
what that reminds me of.
Listen, man, I'm just saying, like, she falls on the line of what's the other one that was from Damage Control?
Kyrie Sane?
They're the same level wise.
Okay.
I don't think much of Kyrie Sane either. I don't look at EO that. To me, they're mid-level people. They are truly. I don't look at EO Sky as a top women contender on Raw or SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? She just isn't that to me, and that's okay. I just don't look at her that way.
All right, let me present to you this armchair booking right here. This little fantasy
Go
booking of
for it.
mine. So let's say Jade Cargill wins the Queen of the Ring tournament. So now it's her, and I'm gonna say that, because she's on SmackDown, that she picks Tiffany Stratton to go up against, right? So Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. Jade beats Tiffany, becomes the champion, and her celebration gets interrupted with Naomi cashing in successfully, beating her for the title, and now Naomi is the champion. You've had these two that have had this long-term story, because Naomi was the one that took out Jade Cargill late last year, and she came back at Elimination Chamber finding out that Naomi was the one that took her out. So what better way to elevate that story, another layer of it, than then coming back, facing each other, and Naomi cashing in and taking the women's title from Jade.
Well, and in all honesty, let me ask you this: who
Right
you
on, Jeffrey.
getting? Who you getting the better performance from? Asuka and EO Sky, or are you getting a better performance from Jade Cargill and Naomi?
Okay.
Because I'm telling you right now, Jade Cargill and Naomi top these other two any day of the week, in my opinion.
I think as far as wrestling skill is concerned,
Yes.
we'll get more out of Asuka versus Io, out of wrestling skill alone.
Yeah.
But in terms of story and characters that I'm invested in more, I'm more invested in Jade and Naomi.
Okay. Well, I will say from a wrestling standpoint, Oscar and Io are definitely, just because they're high flyers and they do crazy stuff. But when it comes to watching them make mistakes in the ring too as wrestlers, I'd say they're about even, all four of them. You know, because Jade messes up just like Naomi, just like Io. And I've seen it all. So I don't, the wrestling standpoint, I'm just saying from all out all together, just because of how Jade and Naomi are, and they're seasoned, and Jade's just powerful as crap. That match is more entertaining to me, because a lot more crazy shit can happen than I can't see Oscar power bomb and EO. You know, I can't see EO power bomb and all. It's just going to be what it is,
I agree.
and
Yeah.
that's not entertaining to me. So that's why I look at it that way.
And Jeffrey, I'm one of those people, man. I'm one of those people that is loving Naomi's character change.
Yeah, no,
She's
she's awesome.
I love this heel turn. I love that it's all a callback to to Jade getting taken out, all that caution tape, that whole crime scene area that was that they were doing. I love that she took that little detail of it and just put it all over herself.
And
And
dude, her entrance is dope.
yeah,
It's neon, man. Who doesn't love neon? Wait, who's entertaining on Twitter?
I think he's saying that Naomi is entertaining on Twitter.
That is one thing. I don't follow these guys on Twitter, so I don't know anything about that. But
She does some pretty risque tweets.
really,
Yeah, she does some tongue in cheek risque tweets. You know, every now
gotcha.
and again she'll be like, you know, this is for me, but this is for my big Jim. You know, something like that. Because
That's
she's married to
funny.
Jimmy Uso.
That's funny.
All right. So after that, I think we talked about it for a second, but we got the men's King of the Ring final, and that's Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton.
Yep. I hope Randy wins that. That's just my wanting. But
So if Randy wins and he gets the shot at SummerSlam, I'm assuming you would want to have him pick John Cena, right? It wouldn't make sense for him to pick Gunther, I think.
no, it would definitely be John because, like I told you, man, ultimately, I do believe it's only right to have Randy break John 17. And you
I
can't wait too long because he only has maybe 5, 6, 7 years left. So right now would be a good time to start that because he's got to make up 3, I think.
with the men's King of the Ring final, all roads lead to John Cena. You know,
Yep.
the other guy in the match is Cody Rhodes. Dude, he lost the title to John Cena at WrestleMania. So obviously, right there, if he wins, that's gonna be him versus John Cena.
Yep.
Did y'all read that Cody is interested in turning heel sometime down the line? Yes, yes, I did. I did read about that,
He
and
should come back as Stardust.
yeah, okay, that'll never happen. Uh, though I'm probably one of the few that actually enjoyed the Stardust character.
Dude, I'm with you. I listen.
I like it.
I love Gold Dust. I even though he was a very unique individual, dude was entertaining as shit. He
Yep.
really was. He was great on the mic, everything. Cody is wacky enough to be Stardust. He just is, man. It worked for him. I liked it. It was cool. Now, granted, I don't know why some people didn't like it, but I think because of how popular he is now, I think that character would actually go over big just because it is him now. You know what I mean? No one really cared about Cody when he was Stardust. No one really, and he's kind of like Dom back in the day. You know what I mean? But
Right.
now who he is, I think he could easily pull that off. And he might even make his brother's character, Gold Dust, look even worse just because how popular he is.
The Cosmic Key. I love
I'm telling you, man, it was awesome.
when he called the titles the Cosmic Key. Whether it was, I don't think he had a individual title, but when he had the tag titles with his brother, he called it the
Yeah.
Cosmic Key. That
Yeah.
that was just cool, man. It was it was ridiculously funny. He sort of played uh like like another variation of the Joker or something like that. Is
Well,
what I
and
got
here's the
from it.
thing, man. You had Mankind that had multiple personalities. Hell, even Goldust had multiple personalities. There's no reason you can't have Cody Rhodes have multiple personalities. Like, you can have him come out as Stardust on certain times, like once or twice a year, just like Dude Love made a presence once and twice a year. You just make him an alter ego, something that you can make it work, though. But see, you got to be fucking creative. You just can't say, hey, put it on and be that guy. Make
Right.
it work.
Right. Yeah, I mean Finn Balor, you know, he's another one. He's got the demon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all, man. You don't have to take it away. Just make it work every now and again.
But so I think we agree. Whoever wins between Cody and Randy, all
Yep.
roads lead to John Cena at that point.
Yeah.
And and then and then because the both of these matches, whoever it ends up being, it ends up being a rematch because we had Backlash, John Cena versus Randy Orton, and now if Randy wins, it's a rematch from that, and if Cody wins, it's a rematch from WrestleMania. So with it being a rematch either way, do you see John Cena losing his world championship no matter what?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Listen, I don't think there is any way possible they let him win and retire with a title. I don't.
see that happening unless, like we talked about, unless they're getting ready to drop a new title that none of us know about, and they're going to make a new like undisputed title just different and let him walk with the old one and introduce the new design later. I don't know, but I don't see them letting him walk with it. There's just no way.
Of course, yeah. I don't see him walking away with the title, but definitely, you think it would be Cody or Randy. You don't see them like looking at their playbook and thinking like, you know what, let's give a new guy that's rising up, probably just coming up from NXT or whatever, and we'll have this guy be the one to dethrone John Cena. You don't see them giving it to a new young blood.
No, 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 no. In all honesty, if anything, dude, I will tell you this right now. It would not surprise me that it is Seth that ends his career. I mean, Seth Rollins is the revolutionary. He is the one that has made a lot of careers. It's only you know right to make him end the greatest one of all time, especially if you're trying to put Rollins over to the point where he's going to become the man for the next 10 years or however long he's here. You got to have him knock off the great. I mean, think about it. HBK had to knock off Ric Flair, and that sent HBK over the top, even though he was over the top already. That just kind of solidified it. Randy Orton had to stop how many careers? That's why we call him, the Viper, the legend killer, because he killed so many legends. It's only proper for. I mean, if you're going to pass the torch to where you want to have it for the next generation coming up, it's only right because of how we talked earlier that you make Seth be that guy, especially if he is going to be the guy. You have to have him do it.
Hmm. All right.
I just
So
don't know where or when.
so definitely this could go either way. So if I said to you, all right, give me a name right now. 1, 2, 3. Who's winning? Cody or Randy?
Cody or Randy?
Yeah.
Randy.
Randy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I told you, bro. I just think it's too soon for Cody, man. We just got done with his reign. I don't want to. I would rather see Randy Orton win right now than Cody. We just got done with Cody. Randy hasn't had it in how long? Long
5
time.
years, I think. Yeah, 5
Yeah.
years.
So let Randy have it. There's no
Okay.
the dude's here. He's in perfect shape. He's here all the time. He doesn't miss a show. Give it to him. He deserves it.
Now, based on the way we're talking about the results of Cody and Randy and where that goes from then on, the last match we got for the night is the main event, John Cena and CM Punk. Based on how we're talking on how Cody and Randy will lead into SummerSlam, it sounds like I don't think I need to ask, but it sounds like the expectation is John Cena is winning against CM Punk and going to SummerSlam. Would you agree
CM
with that?
Punk was never going to win anyway.
No. Okay.
For first and foremost, what you're going to give the title from an old guy to another old guy? That's kind of dumb. You know what I mean? You don't win anything by letting CM Punk become champion. You don't. You literally don't. You win nothing. CM Punk is already famous. He's infamous. He can't be any bigger than what he is. Giving him a title means nothing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? John has to retain because it's got to mean something. There's nothing between John and CM Punk that I look at and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Whether it's 10 years ago, whether it's 2 years ago, there's nothing there. That like we talk about. That's like why would you give the heavyweight title to Goldberg? What, you're going to take it away from Gunther to give it to an old guy? So let's just take the title away from an old guy to give it to another old guy. It's dumb. You might as well just let John retain and keep going.
All right.
Or else you might as well just let R-Truth win it. Because R-Truth is just as old as fucking CM Punk.
Older. R-Truth is like 52, I think.
Well,
Goldberg is 58, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. It just makes no sense. You already, yeah, this is dumb. Too many old dudes in the game right now, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. But it's a Saudi show, so I'm sure
Yeah.
at this time of the year, Saudi's telling WWE, "All right, look, we're forking the money to have you guys over here. These are the guys that we want on the card, and it's all the legacy guys, you know, all the older guys that were big stars 10+ years ago."
I hope all goes well for him, man. After everything that has, you know, transpired over the
Yeah,
last week, I know that they were a little uncomfortable about going over there with all the situations and shit, and understandably so. You know, they're not there to fight; they're there to entertain.
yeah,
So I just hope everything goes okay. You know, because everyone knows where they're going, everyone knows what it is. So you know, just hope they're safe.
yeah, man. Same, same.
You know,
You know, there's a lot of heavy, rough stuff going on over there,
yeah.
and I just want a safe show. Everybody is safe. Nobody gets hurt. Uh, I feel like this happens all the time, man. I feel like every time that they go to Saudi, like we at one point somebody ends up having a conversation where they're wishing for their safety. It's like, why do we have them going over there in the first place if there's reason to believe that their safety is at risk? Like
Money,
why continue doing that?
money. They don't
Obviously,
give.
it's money,
They
but
don't give two shits about them. Do you know how much Saudi's paying them to bring that shit there? You know
oh
what I'm
god.
saying? They don't give two fucks about these guys. It is all about the money.
The
And
IWC calls it blood money. WWE
yep.
loves the blood money.
So that's what I'm saying, bro. You know, it's all business, and I understand, but you also have to put your employees' personal feelings into account too, man. You know, if you want them to be able to do a great show and a phenomenal show and sell it, you also got to make sure these people aren't scared when they're doing it either. You know what I mean? Because then their mind ain't fully 100% on it. So I'm with you. I understand you want to make wrestling international. It's something that they've always wanted to do. But you know what? There's just times to keep it home and there's times not to. So maybe this time wasn't the best time. You know, there's always next year. No one said you
Yeah,
can't go back next year.
right, right.
So
True.
I don't know. We'll see, man.
All right. So I think we got our predictions in. So
Yeah.
to recap, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross.
Sami Zayn.
Uh Sami Zayn going over. Okay.
Yep.
Street fight, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Mommy better win that. Oh my God. If they let Raquel win, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just saying.
I think Raquel's going over, man. I think we're
What?
gonna, dude. I think we're gonna get Roxanne Perez coming out and just giving her another piece of help to just progress that story even more, man. That's what I think is gonna happen.
I hope she puts them both through a fucking table and then she gets payback and we don't even got to worry about it, man.
Jacob Fatu versus Solo. I think we're saying Jacob on this one.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill versus Asuka. I said Jade's going for this one.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be Jade too. I
All
do.
right.
But
Cody
I
Rhodes.
won't be upset if it's Oscar though. I won't.
Okay, fair. Cody Rhodes versus Randy. We're saying Randy,
No, I'm right. Or yeah, Randy. Yeah. Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
then John Cena versus CM Punk. John
Cena.
Cena. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the only way I can see all those going. I mean, if they don't go that way, then I probably shouldn't do the show with you anymore because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Jeffrey says, "Oh yeah, Roxanne is going to be honorary tag team champion." I mean, dude, that's that. I
Yeah.
think like when I look down at my little teacup and I'm reading the leaves there, I think that's where we're going with that. My little teacup leaves here is saying Roxanne is gonna help out. So yeah.
God, dude, I would love it if they brought Liv back in 4 months and she walks in when her and Dom and Perez are sitting there and they're all like moochy moochy and she's like, Dom, I'm pregnant. I
Don't
would
lay
lose
on a
my
pregnant
shit.
angle, man.
Yo,
Oh my
do it.
gosh.
Bro, do it. You know that would be funny as fuck.
Oh my god. Why? So you can have somebody bring in a fake baby doll and kick it in the arena like Gene Snitsky did? Come on. Come on, man.
You know that'd be funny as hell, though.
Man, they recycle storylines all the time, right? So I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh shit,
All right. So that's
man!
our predictions right
You
there.
could have some Mysterio. You could have a real good Mysterio storyline with that too, man.
You're
Because
right.
he'd have to somehow tell his dad, and then that storyline gets kicked up again. Hey, Dad, you're going to be a grandpa.
Jeffrey, you're right. That was not his fault.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Gene Snitsky was something else back in the day. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
bro, you know one dude I forgot about, and I'm actually really happy I did, but I seen him on one of the Peacock. I woke up to a WrestleMania. I know you remember him, and terrible fucking character. But I totally forgot he was a Paul Heyman dude. Do you know who I'm
Was
talking
he?
about? No, do you know who I'm talking about?
Who are you talking about?
Fucking Heidenreich.
Heidenreich.
Remember Heidenreich, the all white dude with the white hair?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
He was. They were trying to make him like a modern day. What's that guy from Rocky Four?
yeah, Dolph Lundgren.
Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. Yeah,
Dude, terrible,
yeah,
terrible character, bro.
yeah, yeah.
I had to throw that at you because I was like, oh, I wonder if Joe remembers this guy.
Dude, I remember Heidenreich, but I don't remember him being a Paul Heyman guy. Damn, Paul
Yeah, yeah,
Heyman
no,
managed him.
he was
Shit.
just for a short time because I remember watching him when he walked out. Paul was with him. Yeah.
I remember his theme song where it was just like a repeat of Heidenreich, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cole, remember him too? Cole.
I
Cole who?
Cole
Who's he
who?
talking? Do you know who he's talking about?
Heidenreich. I remember Cole. Remember him too. I don't
Cole.
like as a Michael Cole. And yeah, he was on SmackDown as well. He was Michael Cole.
Yeah, yeah.
Does
Oh,
does
dude,
Heidenreich
Michael
and Michael
Cole's
Cole have
ancient.
history that I forgot about, Jeffrey?
Dude, Michael Cole is ancient, bro. Oh my God. I was sitting there. I think he started in 2002, was it?
Dude, he's been
Or
in there
before that?
since the
This is like his
90s, bro.
20th WrestleMania, I think, or something like that.
He's been in the company for 28 years.
28, yeah.
28. He started
Yeah.
in
Dude, I
97.
saw him when he first came on back in the day. And it was right whenever he started with Jerry King and them. The King Lawler and them whenever he first got introduced. Dude, he was such a baby, dude. He's so old now. Makes me feel old because he's
Yeah.
been around that long.
Jeffrey, I'm gonna have to look this up. He did an interview with Michael Cole, and I guess it probably did not end well.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I'll have to look that one up too. But yeah, Heidenreich he was terrible. Who was the one also that they tried to make into a white Undertaker? That guy tanked terribly. Remember that dude?
Oh
He looked
God,
like the Undertaker with
was
the
that
all white
Kevin
hair.
was that Kevin Thorpe?
I even forget what his name was. But he looked like the Undertaker, just all white. He looked like Gandalf, white Gandalf.
Did he dress in all black or
No,
he
he
was
was
all
all
white?
white. It was an all white robe. He had white hair, white beard. He carried that fucking cross staff. They tried to really make him a white Undertaker. Jeff will know as soon as he throws it up there. But yeah, he wasn't around long at all, man.
Who is? Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Mordecai.
Mordecai. Yeah. Fucking dude did not last
Yes.
long at all, bro. They came around the same time, Heidenreich and him, and they were terrible. Two very, very bad characters, bro. Hornswoggle was better than those two.
Oh my gosh, man. Hornswoggle was better than those two. That's a hot take right there.
Totally. He was totally better than them. Fuck, I'd give Eugene more than them.
Jeffrey's like, thank goodness I don't remember that.
Right, dude?
It was so short-lived.
terrible. It was so
short-lived.
bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
oh hey, did you notice too that Braun Breaker has the same tattoo on his arm as Goldberg?
I noticed that. Yeah.
What are we doing here, people?
I saw a picture of what Goldberg's son looks like right now, and he also has the same tattoo as Goldberg.
Yeah.
I think we're just a few years away from seeing Goldberg's son make it into the business.
When we gonna see Brock Lesnar's daughter? You know that's gonna be coming eventually, man.
Man, if
And
I were
she is
her,
a monster, bro. I wouldn't fuck with her, and I'm a guy.
dude, if right now the Lesnar name is like tainted in the world of professional wrestling, like I would, if I were her, I'd probably steer clear from pro wrestling until all that like dies down a good amount.
Hey, did you also see that Roddy Piper's daughter's wrestling now? She's down
No,
in she's down in a small league right now, an indie league. But yeah, she's wrestling now, his daughter. So that's kind of cool. You're
no,
seeing a legend's daughter come up. Yeah.
no way. How
Yeah.
old is she now?
Shit, I don't know. I'd say 27, 28, I would guess. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, she's in an independent one right now. I saw her on YouTube the other day. She made an appearance somewhere.
Let's see. Ariel Teal Toombs, born in '85, so that would
Yeah,
make her. So she's 40 now.
yeah.
Uh,
Maybe that was old. Maybe that was something old, but I don't think so. I don't think they would show me something that freaking old. I don't know, but she's doing something in an independent thing. I was like, that's cool.
well, he had 3 kids, so the one that first one I named probably isn't the one that's
It's probably a
currently
younger one.
training. It could have been
But
one of
yeah,
the other daughters because he had 3.
all I know is she came out and she had it like it was in a girl version, but she had like the kilt on, short kilts, a kilt short thing. Like the kilt
Okay,
was in the back with shorts in the front, and I think she had like red hair, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
which one is it? Maybe it is the older one. I don't know. Teal Piper.
that sounds familiar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
Yeah,
You're
Teal
telling me she's
Piper.
doing it at 40 years old? Holy,
Yeah, Teal
a little
Piper,
late.
House of Heathens.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's her.
yeah. Holy shit! Talk about starting late, bro.
I guess it's never too late.
Wow. Yeah. But no, I saw that the other day. I was like, well, that's cool.
Yeah, she's got a good look to make it in pro wrestling. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
Well, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah,
And I don't know how easy. Well, I mean, LA Knight did it at 40, right?
yeah,
So
but he's been doing it for a long time though. It's just that he got into WWE at a late age.
yeah. You know what? That's somebody right there that doesn't get enough credit, man. Diamond Dallas Page. What a stud, dude. I remember DDP. He was awesome. You remember him? You remember him in Ready to Rumble?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He played his character very well
Yes, he did,
in Ready
man.
to Rumble. That was awesome.
Sinclair did good. Dude, they all did good. What was it? Bam? Beanie Bam, or what was his name? The big dude that had the shaved head in the movie. Minnie Bam. I don't know. He was the big white dude. He had the shaved head with the tattoos on it, and he was a big white boy. I bet you he was like 300 pounds.
I
He's in that
can't.
movie. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't put my finger on it. No, I can't
Bam
remember.
Bigelow or something like that.
Bam Bam Bigelow, is that?
Yeah, that's who I'm talking. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about somebody else. Yeah, yeah. Bam Bam Bigelow was in it.
yeah. I had to think of the name. It was coming back to me. That's an old character right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all did great, man. That was an
Yeah.
awesome movie.
So reminder, guys, hot takes and headlocks at gmail.com. That's our email. Feel free to email us and let us know any feedback or give us some questions that we can read out to you guys on live on the show. Anything that we did not talk about today that you want us to touch on, email it to us and let us know. We got our predictions in, so we're going to wait until Saturday to see how those transpire. AK, you got anything else for us before we close this out?
No, sir. I think we're good. We hit everything. Just fun talking, man. Yeah.
Likewise, man. Good one. Good one tonight. Guys, thank you so much for chiming into the chat. Really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, please. And we'll see you guys next Thursday night. Same time, same channel.
Peace.